What is freaking going on, you guys? We're on the side of the freeway again, trying to figure out what went wrong. It died out for no reason. What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the freaking channel. So we had a great day yesterday, right? We got so much awesome stuff done. We got the CRX swapped. We got the DOHC ZC in the engine bay, sitting with all three mounts connected, stiff, pretty much fully assembled. All we really have to do is throw the traction bar back on, the headlight and the front bumper, and that's it, guys. And we also got to attend a small little EF owners meet last night. We got to see Freddie, we got to see John, Dog Training 101. We got to see a few other familiar faces as well as some new ones. It was really cool. It was a lot of fun. Flacco and Steve Amoeba and freaking Anthony and all of our buddies, they met up too. It was a lot of fun. It was really cool. So now it is morning. It is a new day. Leo is actually still clocked in. He actually has not clocked out yet. He clocks out at noon. He goes from midnight to noon. And so he's probably going to be sleeping for the rest of the day when he does get home. But we are going to get a lot of stuff done ourselves, as we did yesterday. So let me just recap what's been going down. Let me recap what we got done, and we will go into today's project. Let's go.
Hustle we dedicate, the real deserve a plate, the fake we gon' separate. Hustle we dedicate, the real deserve a plate, the fake we gon' separate. Never gon' change, pockets gotta maintain. Go get it while I can, cause the game changed. Grew up fast, so I'm stuck in the same lane. 100 miles and running, homie, I be fully gunning. Educate my mind, I don't wanna be another dummy. Talk that real.
Anywho, I've got the DOHC ZC inside of the car. I have an SI cable tranny. I truly do not know where that came from. That could have also came from Leo, I don't know. I have AXLES inside of the car outside, and I also am a liar. I told you guys that for once all of the freaking mounting bolts and nuts were there. Well, that one's not there. So we're gonna have to find that or go to the junkyard and get it. I also have a big thing of brake fluid. I think Ashwin might be coming out to hang out and see the car, but let's get started, guys. I'm gonna first start with throwing the suspension back together, getting the car 100% put back together. I hate grease. I really want to degrease this again. I'm probably gonna get more degreaser and degrease this again before it gets everything in the car dirty. Also, yes, I have not changed. I am still wearing the same exact clothes, the sweats and freaking Leo's We Have Shit Up hoodie from Brandon, because I lost my hoodie. I lost my Honda Vlogs hoodie. So I don't have a hoodie right now. I just have my blue Honda hoodie, and I didn't want to screw that up working on this. So I gotta find that. But yeah, I don't really shower when I'm out here crawling around in the freaking dirt every day. I shower before I go back to work at the end of the weekend, so I'm not that nasty, just a little. But anyways, we have my Stanleys. We have all of the hardware for them. We have the compression tester. We have a banana. We have 2 axles. Okay, you guys, so freaking Ashwin just came by, and it turns out he did have my Honda Vlogs hoodie. So that's freaking cool. I have my Honda Vlogs hoodie back, and we also have some more good news. The freaking 88 axles fit. This is awesome. So it is fully seated into the tranny. Oh wait, no it's not. My bad. Is that gonna fit after all? Okay. Axle is fully seated in the tranny now. So that's freaking awesome. So now all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically remove the coil over, get the freaking axle on, put the fork over the coil over, and then reassemble this side of the suspension. And then we'll do the same to the other side, where I'm actually gonna show you guys. Only reason I didn't record right now was because I wasn't confident that these axles were gonna be a fit, and now that I know they are, we're gonna proceed. I am running a set of Napa CRX axles. These are specifically for an 88 CRX, but we are running an 88 cable tranny, so we're good, right? These were given to me by Leo. These were a gift from him. I have 2 complete sets of these. These are brand new. They have never been used. So we should be good to put some decent power down to these axles without having to worry about them for a little while, right? A little while. We got 2 sets, brand new. Eventually my goal setup is to run a ZC tranny for 2 reasons. One, the ZC tranny has really short gears similar to B16 gearing. It's basically the B16 tranny of the D series world, and it also uses a half shaft. So we have a lot more axle stability and we can handle a lot more power without actually causing damage to this long one. So until I secure a ZC tranny, we're gonna be running my collection of SI trannies with the long and short axles. They shouldn't be a problem for the power we're gonna put down right now. But big power means big problems, right? So we'll get there when we get there. Let's get this side wrapped up and then I'll show you guys how to do the other side. You guys, this is freaking awesome. So the axle fits, it's the correct spline count. It threads into the hub. It spins with the hub, and it also goes all the way into the tranny. This is freaking awesome. So I don't have axle nuts. Well, I do have axle nuts, but just old ones. And I don't have my 32mm socket anymore because one of the days we were putting Big Man's car back together, I ended up leaving it at his garage, and I don't believe I ever got it back. So Leo has another one. It's not that big of a deal. And I don't even have brand new nuts to torque down, so I don't want to torque them down here anyways. So let's get to the other side. All I did was I loosened the upper control arm and the coil. I removed the coil entirely, squeezed the axle in there, fed the axle through here, slipped the fork over the axle, bolted the upper control arm back on, bolted the coil back on, and then fit the coil back into its fork and put that bolt back in. That was all I did. Very simple, very easy. Took me about 15 minutes with a bunch of messing around. So let's get the other side done. All right, let's install an axle. This is how you do it. These are all the tools you need. 14, 17, 19. Prefer to have a 19-inch wrench, but I left my 19 wrench at home, so we are going to be using this adjustable. Just as good, just don't round anything off. It helps to have a ratchet, flathead, and an impact. So jack car up. And second, to remove our center cap, you want to be very careful of these. If you are running your OEM wheels, you already know how rare center caps are and how easy they are to break. Leo showed me how to take them off. You just want to be very careful. Pry them from this tab right here. Just be very careful. And there you go. She comes right off like that. If you look on the center cap, there's going to be an arrow pointing to the valve. Basically, you want that to be pointing to the filler valve. It's just a 19 to remove the lugs. They're not tight at all, not on my car, because as you guys know, this car doesn't go anywhere. Just something that I do is I put all of my lugs back where they go. And then I usually only actually pop the center caps in if these wheels are going to be used, but I'm going to just show you guys how I do it. Remember, valve pointing towards the air valve, and you pretty much just want these tabs to fall in. And once you get 3 of them in, there you go. That's it. You need to be gentle with them. Do not force them. As you guys saw, I just kept repositioning it. I would add a certain amount of pressure, and if that pressure wasn't popping it in, I did not force it. I did not add more pressure. All I did was center the cap, just adjust it. Just keep turning it. Be very gentle with them. They are very rare and they're very fragile. To get our axle in, we're gonna want to bring the hub forward. You can do this in multiple ways. On the other side, I unbolted the upper control arm and the coil over, and I removed them all as a piece. I'm gonna try to not do that this time. I'm gonna try to separate this ball joint right here and see if that guy just pops out easily. Sometimes they're a bear. Sometimes they really don't want to pop out, especially if they've been on the car for a very long time. As you guys know, we just picked these up from Dana. These are actually the original control arms to his wagon. So they haven't been on the car very long, so these ball joints should be able to pop out fairly well. They haven't been holding up too much weight until now. So I'm gonna take that off. That is a 17, and then I'm gonna hit it with a hammer and see if it pops out. If it doesn't, then I'm gonna take everything apart. All right, you guys, we got lucky and the ball joint released. I was basically tapping around this area on the upper control arm. The vibration is actually what's gonna release the ball joint. You can hit it on the threads and try to push it up, but I really don't like to do that because you run the risk of, you know, those chubby girls that aren't really like fat, but oh, muffins and muffin tops. That's what I'm talking about. So sometimes you can muffin top the threads and then like the freaking nut won't go on anymore. So be aware of that. Don't do that, or else you'll mess up your ball joint. It is a lot easier to just freaking remove the upper control arm than to replace everything because you messed it up. So if you can get this separated, cool for you. If not, remove your upper control arm. We're gonna need to remove this long bolt, and we're gonna lift our fork over our control arm, and we're gonna slide our axle through the fork. The fork, again, is not difficult to remove. All you need to do is remove this 14 down here, and then you have this other 17 bolt, and you'll be good to go. Check it out.
Go get it while I can, cause the game changed. Grew up fast, so I'm stuck in the same lane. 100 miles and running, homie, I be fully gunning. Educate my mind, I don't wanna be another dummy. Talk that real, unveil that the boy got skill. Kill that wheel, 50 Cent told me I don't gotta chill. If the heat outside, then the blood gotta spill.
All right, guys, so I think we are officially running into our first swap problem. I think our short axle is too tight because I popped out the upper ball joint again, and she is now spinning freely and just as loosely as our other side. But when I have the upper ball joint all the way in, it is a little binded. So I believe this short axle is a little bit too long. This is the short axle from an 88 CRX SI. So this should be the short axle that was from the D16A6 with the exact tranny that I'm running, but she's a little too long.
Wait, hold up.
But
That's the axle that Honda Vlogs gave me from his I want to say the 4-speed or the base model tranny. So
oh, what the heck?
That's why it might be shorter.
Oh, the opened ones?
Yeah.
Because you gave me you gave me
the
closed
2 cents,
Nappas
yeah.
and open Nappas.
Open Nappas, yeah.
Oh, I thought they were the same. I just used the open ones because they were open.
Yeah, that's what no, that's what I'm saying. They're I want to say they're for that different tranny. That's why they might be shorter, but don't quote me on that one.
I don't know about that one.
Because I do remember when he handed them to me, he mentioned there was a difference.
Okay, Christian, these are the axles that you gave Leo a very long time ago. If you have any information on them, please tap in, because right now my short axle is binding and it's not allowing anything to really spin freely. So that's kind of a problem, but we're not going to worry about that right now. We're just going to get the suspension thrown back together. We're going to get the traction bar thrown on, and I'm going to throw my front end back together, and then we are going to call it for the day, because we have a really big surprise for you guys. So y'all have already seen me throw the front end together many times, so I'm not even going to time lapse that. We're just going to do it. But surprise coming up, really big surprise. Thank you for 1,000 subscribers. Let's keep going, guys. All right, you guys, so that's pretty much going to wrap it up for what we're going to do on the car. We didn't end up getting to the brakes, and we didn't end up getting to compression checking it, but when you guys see this next clip, you will understand why. So we've still got something to work out with this axle. I honestly am playing with the idea that maybe I still have to remove the dust shields on the actual wheel hubs. So if you guys have ever done a B series swap in an EF, then you will know you have to remove the dust rings on the insides of the spindles, or else your axles will bind up, and that's exactly what's happening right now. My axles are binding up, so I'm gonna try to do that and see if I can run these axles. But if I need shorter axles, then I'm gonna do some research and see if maybe I can all right, you guys, so I lied to y'all. I said we were gonna go do something cool. We ended up not. We ended up doing something really freaking lame, and it was an attempt to jump a starter to get a compression reading out of my engine. But none of these starters are doing anything other than engaging. Like the gear is coming out, but it doesn't spin, And I'm not going to rule that all three of these starters are bad when I'm grounding them to a freaking battery that is not even in the same chassis as they're in. The engine is not seized. There's nothing funny going on, right? But check it out, CRXs are right next to each other. And they're starting to look a little bit similar. Alright, so update. I'm under the car trying to figure out this axle situation because we were gonna go pick up something really awesome, but he's not really the seller, but the guy who owns the thing that we're gonna go pick up, he flaked out on us. So unfortunately that's not gonna happen today. I'm currently talking to Dana right now, and he says that I shouldn't have to remove the dust shield on the spindle because I am still using a D series trans. He says that there should be another reason it's binding. So I'm underneath the car, I'm trying to figure out what's going wrong, and I will update you guys if I do. All right guys, so like I said, talking to Dana right now, and he says there is literally should be no reason I should have to modify my spindle since I'm using a D series tranny. I have it pulled out. I've already pushed it back into the tranny a couple times, and I was noticing one thing. Watch, I'm gonna push it back in right now for you guys. It doesn't, I don't think it fully goes in. Like, I think it's staying out a little bit. I don't know if y'all can see this, but I'm gonna push it back in, and then I'm gonna show you the gap that's left. All right, so that's pushed in, correct? But do you guys see what I mean? Like, it doesn't go in all the way. That's about as far as it goes in, but on this side we don't have that issue. But on this side, that's about as far as it goes in. So what's up with that? I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure why, but Leo just got back with lunch, so we're gonna eat, and I don't know. Whoa guys, I mean, I might fall on my freaking face right now, but this is cool. Look at this view. Woo! Alright you guys, CRX is fully put back together. I did put a starter on it, a starter that I thought worked, and I tried to spark it. I tried to jump it using jumper cables. It was engaging, the teeth were engaging, but it wasn't turning the engine, and the engine turns over smoothly. So I don't know what was going on there, but I also think that possibly it's because the battery was grounded to one car and it was being grounded to a totally different car. I don't think it was forming a good enough ground. I don't think it was getting enough voltage, because all of the starters, even outside of the engine, they would only engage, but they wouldn't spin. So I think they all were just not getting enough power, but that's okay. We didn't get to compression test it, but we do have it in the car, and I am pretty sure that it's gonna run because the spark plugs came out not looking bad at all. There was no corrosion. There was no, like, it didn't really look like there had been water inside of the cylinders. I'm trying to get it to focus, but they just looked like, you know, they were used. There's actually oil, so oil being in the cylinders is a sign of no corrosion, because it's not going to corrode. You're not going to get water forming with oil. So I'd rather have that than anything else. We are having an axle issue. That passenger side axle, the short axle, is binding. It is not moving when I have it like fully bolted up and I try to spin the wheel. And Dana says there should be no reason that I would have to modify my hubs because I am still running the D series transmission. So I'm gonna go run over to the house and I'm gonna pick up my other set of axles from Christian from Honda Vlogs, because I wasn't aware of this, but after Leo got off of work, he told me that Christian actually said that those were two different sets of axles. The opened axles were one set, and the closed axles were, I believe, the 88 set. So correct me if I'm wrong on that, Christian, but I think we have a different set of axles. I think this might be the wrong axle. So let's go over there and grab that set of axles, and let's see what happens. One thing that's just freaking wild to me now, guys, is that this car now has an engine in it. That's just so freaking crazy to me. It's got an engine and it almost has axles. And one thing I also do need to pick up is I have some 1/8" spacers at home. I do need to run wheel spacers because these brake calipers are still too big for the SI wheels. But they're not, it's not as bad as with the 13s. With the 13s, I couldn't even get the wheels on the lugs. They were just plain out too small. But with these wheels, the caliper, the edge of the caliper does hit the inside of the wheel. And our buddy Edwin trimmed his SI wheels with a freaking angle grinder to fit his big brakes, but that is not what we're going to do here. We are going to get some small spacers. If I can find something even thinner than the spacers I do have, I would prefer to run those, but we're going to work with what we got for now. So let's go home and grab all that stuff. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, you guys. So I gave the engine bay another degreasing. I pretty much got into all of the luke and crannies with the toothbrush, and as you guys can see, we are so much cleaner now. So we're still not completely clean. We still have a little bit of grease in the lukes and crannies, but what I think I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna pull each of these mounts one by one and just give them a coat of spray paint, especially that one, and kind of just try to go over the bolts, get the rust off, and you know, just kind of try to tidy it up, make it look clean. Anywho, over here we have 3 axles to choose from. On the left inside of the bag is a brand new one that came from Christian from Honda Vlogs. That should be an 88 SI axle, right? The rusty one I believe is a DC5 RSX, and the other short one that has a 9-3 written on it, I believe this is an EG axle. I believe this came from Big Man. I don't exactly remember everything because I need to freaking mark my parts, but we're gonna pull that short axle out and we're gonna compare them all and we're gonna see what's what. So let's get that knocked out. All we have to do, again, to pull the short axle out is disconnect our fork. It's just 2 bolts. So let's knock that out really quick. I'm not gonna film it. To release the axle, just take a flathead, jam it in there, in between the cup, and then that's it. And she's out. Let's compare her. All right, right off the bat, I can already tell you guys that this one is shorter than all of them. The one on the very left is the axle that we were running. The one next to it is the one that I believe is the correct one. If you notice, one has an ABS ring, the other one does not. It looks like the RSX axle is a tiny bit longer, and the EG axle looks like it's a lot longer. So let's run the shortest one and see what happens. Okay, you guys, I'm dumb. I used the wrong axle at the beginning. So we got the right axle in there and we have no problems at all. We got the brand new axle hub nut. Don't use an old one. We got that tightened down and the axle is spinning. It's free, it's not binded. There is a little bit of wiggle room, just like there should be, and we are good. Because when I had this axle in, there was absolutely no wiggle room. Like, it was stiff. It was like super stiff. So that's freaking awesome. And I already showed you guys that I degreased the bay again. Engines look really clean. The bay's really clean. Okay, that's probably gonna wrap it up for this video, guys. We got all that. We got both axles in. We got the motor swapped in. We have her all good to go, solid. We got all of the front suspension put in. Everything is good to go. So this is a huge step forward for us, guys. Our suspension is finished. We do need to replace the ball joints on the knuckles. We do need to do that, but you know, that's small, that's tiny. That takes like an hour at most. We weren't able to compression check the motor because I think I need to have a little bit more wiring going on in this car before I'm going to be able to actually make a good connection. So we're not going to compression test it yet, and unfortunately me and Leo were not able to show you guys a really big surprise that we have for the channel, but that will be the next video for sure. So stay tuned for that, guys. It's all right, we'll get to it when we get to it. For now, guys, like and subscribe. Hell, we're getting close to a fire up, aren't we? So I really hope you guys stick around to see what's going to come with the rest of this build, but the fun stuff is just about to begin. Let's go. I'm going through my storage trying to find my freaking pedal assembly, guys, but I just want you to see this. This is a hint for what's to come. This is a hint.